The world of Gravity Falls is ending, and not because an omniscient master of chaos has claimed the universe as his own. Well, actually, okay, yeah, it is because of that, but also because the 1-hour special Weirdmageddon Part 3 marks the end of the series, and hopefully answering some of the big questions remaining about Gravity Falls. However, there's too many loose ends lying around to tie up in a single episode. Whether it's outside the scope of the story or the result of a quirk in the show's production, there are many mysteries that might just be left open-ended forever. But what's a mystery show without some unsolved mysteries anyway? A 3-year Q&A? A documentary? NBC's Dateline? My name is Tim, and today on Channel Frederator we have 10 Gravity Falls mysteries that may never be solved. And in case this wasn't super duper obvious, there are spoilers ahead. Number 10. What's Dipper's first name? We already know that Dipper gets his nickname from his constellation-shaped birthmark, but his original given name has gone unspoken so far. Not even by Mabel. His first name could possibly be dropped in the final episode. Maybe Bill Cipher's gonna taunt him with his omniscience, but it might be more fun left unknown. Show writer Jeffrey Rowe joked on Twitter that Dipper's real name is Lamanique. I would go by Dipper too if that was my real name. Or even better, Tyrone. Number 9. Who is that baby? At one point in Stan and Ford's life story in A Tale of Two Stans, we can see that Stan's mother is holding a baby. Both Ford and Stan are great uncles to Dipper and Mabel, so there must be a third sibling who's Dipper and Mabel's grandparent. And Stan introduces the young twins to Ford as Shermie's grandkids. So is the baby the infant father of Mabel and Dipper? If he was, he'd be at the ripe old age of 40 today, given that Stan was around 18 in the flashback. Is a bit young to be a grandparent. Did the Pines family have another surprise after Shermie? Or is that Shermie's baby who needs a little help being raised by Shermie's parents? Number 8. What's with everyone's fingers? Dipper and Mabel's great uncle Ford is iconic for his 6-fingered hands. His polydactyly precedes him on the cover of each of his 3 journals. However, his digit count shouldn't be that out of place considering the finger number varies quite a bit in Gravity Falls. While most of the regular residents have the cartoon classic 4-fingered hands, many notable characters are equipped with 5, including, but not limited to, Grunkle Stan, Seuss, Gideon, and Old Man McGucket. While perhaps some characters have more fingers to match their larger frame, Wendy's wiry friends Lee and Nate also have 5 fingers. Could the varying number of fingers be an arbitrary choice by the show's animators, or another strange property of Gravity Falls? Also, in case you were wondering, finger number varies between the creatures in Gravity Falls too. For example, the gnomes have 4 fingers while the manitars have 5. Number 7. Where did Robbie get his CD? Fans have always suspected Robbie Valentino was more than he appears. After all, his Stitch harp does have a space on Bill Cipher's wheel, but attempts to connect him to the supernatural have been somewhat dubious. Sure, he looks a little undead and he has a propensity for death in his band's aesthetic, but what angsty teenager doesn't? Rob's probably no more a zombie than Norman was, although Norman was a set of gnomes. So, what's mysterious though is the CD he used to win Wendy's heart in the episode Boys Crazy back in season 1. While Robbie suggests the CD is by some band, the case looks very much like a Necronomicon for a love song, and looks like an item Dipper or Gideon might find with the help of Ford's journals. Its origins and how Robbie found it remain unknown to this day. Also, even with a full hour, it's probably not the kind of thing you want to spend a lot of time on. Number 6. What's the deal with gold? Everybody's been buying gold for the end times, or at least that's what Stan Pines thinks everyone should be doing, though it's not entirely clear what the gold will be good for. Sure, it's a reliable source of wealth when interest is rocketing up, but if it's the Weirdmageddon we're talking about, that money could better be spent on food and supplies. There's different kinds of doomsday and they need different preps. I've marathoned the show Doomsday Prepper before, so I know all this. Stan's gold scheme might sound like it's from a crackpot conspiracy theorist, except Bill Cipher gives the same advice in the episode Dreamscapers. Could gold somehow be instrumental to survival in the ruins of civilization? But then if it was, why would Bill give any advice? Maybe they've just all been reading Gold Chains for Old Men magazine. Also in Weirdmageddon, Bill turns Ford into metal, so he can probably transmute things into gold. I'm not sure why you would need to buy it earlier. Number 5. Did the UFO crash cause the weirdness? We finally get an answer to the floating cliffs mystery when Dipper and Ford take a day trip to the ancient spacecraft that carved the Gravity Falls Valley millions of years reality, allowing the properties of other dimensions to leak in. Is it possible that this dimensional weakness was caused by the UFO? Dedicated fans discovered that the alien engravings inside of the ship mention a probability drive engine, a reference to the infinite improbability drive from Douglas Adams' The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The infinite improbability device is known for causing weird side effects, such as transforming 2 thermonuclear missiles into a whale and a sentient potted petunia. So it's not too far off to guess that the alien's probability drive is still operating and causing Gravity Falls' Falls' strange happenings? Or was the UFO attracted to Gravity Falls' strangeness? The ship crashed millions of years ago, but Bill Cipher's entrance into Gravity Falls was prophesized 1 billion years ago. Maybe the craft was just another domino in the long chain of events leading up to Weirdmageddon. As Ford said, the answer is yet unknown. Number 4, is the shapeshifter an alien? The shapeshifter we meet in Into the Bunker is later hinted to have been hatched by Ford in A Tale of Two Stands. There are many strange creatures that inhabit Gravity Falls, but something about the shapeshifter seems extra alien. The brown writing that Dipper spots inside the downed UFO alludes to the shapeshifter when translated. Specimen has escaped is changing forms. This seems to suggest that the shapeshifter we meet is descended from an escaped alien lab experiment. However, as mentioned before, we don't know if the aliens caused the weirdness or the weirdness caused the aliens. Maybe the spaceship came to Gravity Falls to collect strange and interesting specimens native to Earth, only to end up crashing on the planet. If they were going for strange and interesting animals, they should have gone for the platypus. I mean, yeah, shapeshifter's pretty nuts, but the platypus still looks faked. Number 3, who prophesized Weirdmageddon? When Gravity Falls becomes Earth and Sky, fear the beast with just one eye. Fiddleford McGucket echoed those words after a brief dip into another realm of existence, hinting at the rise of the one-eyed demon, Bill Cipher. Who put those words into McGucket's mouth? Most likely Bill himself, as McGucket uttered his name, albeit backwards, before speaking the warning. However, Bill might not be the original author of the prophecy. When Bill breaks the container holding the interdimensional rift and breaks into Gravity Falls, he exclaims, "The event 1 billion years prophesized has finally come to pass." That just begs the question, who wrote the prophecy? It couldn't have been anyone on Earth. 1 billion years ago is before multicellular life was a thing. Unless one of the time travelers in Time Baby's force went back in time to warn the world about Bill Cipher, though 1 billion years before his arrival does seem a little out of the way and would lack an audience. Number 2, how is Gravity Falls connected to the world of Rick and Morty? Very astute fans have spotted Stan's mug and notepad that fell into a portal, falling out of one of Rick's portal in Close Rick Counters of the Rick Kind from Rick and Morty. Were Stan's objects flying out of Rick's portal just a nod to Gravity Falls? After all, Rick and Morty co-creator Justin Roiland is personal friends with Gravity Falls creator Alex Hirsch, and both shows make allusions to having an infinite number of universes. Could it be that Gravity Falls and Rick and Morty inhabit the same multiverse? Fan artists have already drawn comparisons between the age dimension hopping scientists Ford and Rick, and their respective pubescent counterparts Dipper and Morty. When asked about the possibility of a crossover episode, Alex Hirsch only teased, saying, "So far, we've found that these little winking nods between our shows strike the right balance. I can't say whether or not there will be more, but I can say that we like to confuse and amuse people, so who the hell knows?" Weirder things have happened, in both shows and in real life. And finally, number 1, what does Bill Cipher's wheel mean? Bill Cipher's wheel is probably the most and longest speculated on piece of cryptology in Gravity Falls. It's been there from the very beginning and seems to hold the answers to questions that haven't even been asked yet. Clearly, many of the symbols on the wheel stand for major characters in the show. However, the meaning of some of the other symbols are more ambiguous. For example, fan theories suggest the ice bag could represent Wendy because Dipper fetched her ice in The Time Traveler's Pig, but it could also represent Thompson, who gets ice poured down his pants. And now that Ford has made an appearance, it's not clear whether he's supposed to be represented by the glasses or the six-fingered hand. But what does it all mean anyway? There are many, many theories out there, but perhaps the wheel is more of a symbol. While it has an in-universe presence, its formation and symbols have appeared different. In The Stanchurian Candidate, the wheel that Gideon draws has the symbols in a different order than's written in the book. The six-fingered hand has been replaced by the journal, and the crescent shape was updated to match Stan's change of fez. It may be that the details of Bill's wheel are not as universal as investigators might hope. And while it might play a meaningful role in the final episode of Gravity Falls, at this point, it's all just speculation. Hopefully that gives you some questions to ponder as we lead up to the finale of Gravity Falls. Thank you for watching Frederator's Tuned Up, where we cover everything you've ever wanted to know about your favorite cartoons. This was obviously recorded before the finale aired, so by the time you're seeing this, we may know whether or not these mysteries are solved. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. So until next time, remember, reality is an illusion, the universe is a hologram. Bye, gold, bye!